Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Huynh, and I'm going to be speaking about worksite enforcement, compliance, and employer rights. Well, we've heard a lot about immigration enforcement during the election, and President-elect Trump has made it very clear that immigration enforcement will be a priority for his administration. But it's not just about the wall that we've heard so often about. It's going to be about immigration enforcement for employers also. I am going to focus on some specific topics that we think will be addressed by the Trump administration within the first year. And it includes a continued focus on I-9 audits, the potential for mandatory EVerify, an increase in worksite raids, and also an increased focus on immigration compliance, specifically investigations of immigration audit files, and an increase in the fraud detection and national security investigations. We recently heard that the Trump administration has backed away from its request for the Mexican government to pay for the wall, and that it will take responsibility for building the wall that it is focusing on as a main enforcement priority. And we expect that perhaps the money that it will get from increased immigration enforcement against employers may be a way for it to pay for the wall. The Trump administration's immigration plan has stated that it will focus on turning off the job and benefits magnet in regards to immigration to the United States. And that statement is directed to the ability of U.S. employers to hire individuals who may not have work authorization. So in regards to I-9 audits, we expect to see a continued focus and perhaps even a further increase on I-9 audits. Since 2009, the Obama administration has conducted 10,000 I-9 audits and issued $100 million in I-9 fines. As previously stated, we believe that the focus on I-9 audits will continue, and employers should be proactive in preparing their I-9s, such as conducting internal I-9 audits and setting clear I-9 procedures in place. We are also going to see some changes regarding the use of I-9s. As of January 22nd, 2017, all employers will be required to use the new I-9 form. And this new I-9 form is what is considered a smart electronic I-9 form, in which employers and employees can complete the I-9 form online. And the I-9 form will direct assistance on its completion through text helpers that are available on the electronic I-9s. So we will expect to see a change in I-9 processes among employers as they try to comply with this new I-9 form and seek assistance in regards to making sure that all employees complete the I-9 form correctly. The Trump administration will also be working under a new government agency. Actually, it's an existing government agency, the Office of Special Counsel on Unfair Immigration-Related Employment Practices. Recently, the Obama administration issued regulations which renamed this agency and also clarified further guidance on how specific acts by employers can constitute discrimination based on immigration status or national origin. So what we find now is that under the incoming administration, employers are going to be caught between a rock and a hard place. They have a new administration where we expect immigration enforcement and an increase on I-9 audits to be the continued focus, but also a agency that has been reorganized to be called the Employee and Immigrant Rights Office, where it will lay out specific guidelines as to what constitutes discrimination. And we have also seen an increase in the activities of this office in regards to investigations against employers on acts constituting discrimination based on national origin or immigration status. So employers are really caught in the middle of this focus of immigration enforcement under this incoming administration. And yet at the same time, we know that President Trump has also expressed his position as a pro-business candidate, and it will be very interesting to see what type of action he will take in order to support businesses, but at the same time carry out his immigration enforcement priorities. Another component of immigration enforcement that we expect to see under the Trump administration is perhaps a change in the existing EVerify program. The EVerify program, as many of you may know now, is a voluntary program unless you are a FAR contractor. So employers are not required to use the EVerify program as part of its I-9 process. There has been discussion among the Trump immigration transition team members about the mandatory requirement of the use of EVerify. Currently, there are 650,000 registered employers under the EVerify program. Laura mentioned a little bit previously about the use of executive action. We have heard discussion or chatter about perhaps the expansion of EVerify through executive action. That was how President Bush in his administration implemented the FAR EVerify program. In addition to expansion in EVerify, we expect to see a continued increase in desk monitoring and EVerify site visits. This is already occurring right now under the Obama administration, but as more employers use EVerify and the continued focus will be on removing individuals who are not authorized to be in the United States continue and gets refocused under the Trump administration, we expect the executive branch to start using EVerify as a tool in which it will enforce removal orders or search for individuals who are not authorized to be in the United States. Employers need to be prepared for worksite raids in addition to what we call immigration compliance audits, investigations. Worksite raids was the practice that that President Bush used during its administration to carry out immigration enforcement. And we expect the Trump administration to bring back worksite raids. And the reason we believe this will happen is because the Trump plan has made it very clear that it will seek out individuals who have crimes, who have been convicted of crimes and who are here unlawfully. And we have seen the use of worksite raids as a tool in finding these individuals and also arresting these individuals. So employers need to be prepared, and they need to make sure that they prepare their management team and their employees of potential worksite raids and audits. Employers need to understand that you have rights. We have received calls from employers asking what should we do if we are contacted by the Immigration Service about an employee who may not be authorized to be in the United States. What rights do we have? And employers do have the right to inform an investigator or an auditor that they would like to contact legal counsel if they're contacted. It's also very useful if the employer can set a audit or investigation response plan and communicate this to their management team and those employees who may be the first point of contact if the Immigration Service or other government officials contact the employer. So as we did in the Bush administration, we encourage employers to set a response plan, internal response plan when it comes to government investigations or rights. Be sure if you are contacted by the government regarding an employee or any type of immigration issues, such as an audit of your labor condition application, public access folders, or your perm audit files that Bob previously mentioned, that you cooperate in that you acknowledge that they have the right to contact you, to speak with you, but you as an employer and your employees also have the right to contact legal counsel immediately and not engage in conversation without legal counsel present. So the most important thing you need to remember as we start to enter this time of increased immigration enforcement is to make sure that your I-9 audit files are in order and your immigration audit files are in order. The Trump administration has made it very clear that it plans to establish immigration controls to boost wages, to ensure that jobs are offered to American workers first, and that means we expect that it will target employers who are hiring foreign nationals to ensure that these employers are in compliance with their prevailing wage obligations and they have conducted the requirements to test the labor market to protect U.S. workers. Thank you.